Hey everyone, a warm welcome to Btic Talks, and I'm Sumya. Today for Btic Talks, we have chosen a different genre, and we hope that you will be able to gain an insight on branding and magics. To present the talk, we have Mr. Chathura Perera, who is currently working at FBG Ceylon Private Limited as a Chief Operating Officer. Mr. Chathura has a diploma in work study for production management at SLCITI, brand management in SLIM, MBA from London Metropolitan University, and he is currently following a doctorate in business administration. He is also a qualified Sri Lankan Chartered Professional Manager and an associate member. He's also a... Hi, Mr. Chathura.
Hi, good evening. Can you all hear me?
Yes, Chathura, we can hear you. We warmly welcome you to the family of Btic Talks, Mr. Chathura, and thank you so much for allocating your valuable time to be here with us today.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the brief introduction on me. And good evening, and welcome you all for the most practical and valuable course in the country today. And firstly, I'm thanking for the BTIC campus UK and my lecturer, senior lecturer, Mr. Hasil, to giving me this opportunity to deliver this speech. I hope this topic will be very important to discuss and practice when positioning your brand in any industry or any marketplace. So let's start with the presentation. What is branding and why it is important? So this is gonna be the main topic which we are planning to discuss today. And first of all, let's find out what is branding according to the American Marketing Association. Branding by definition is a marketing practice in which company creates a name, symbol, or design that easily identifiable as belonging to the company. This helps to identify a product and distinguish it from other products and service. And this is the definition that you will get from most of the textbooks, and even if you Google, you will find the same definition for branding.
Mr. Chathura, sorry for interrupting. Is it possible to maximize the screen?
Is it clear now?
Yes, thank you so much. Sorry for interrupting.
All right, okay. Sorry. So, okay, but today I'm going to give you a fresh breathing to branding form. And I will take you a radical tour with the brand term and the architecture of brands. Let's start with the history of evolution process. And I believe in this process runs more than 200,000 years of a history. If you search how old is this brand word is, it's derived from the word brandish, meaning to weapon, followed by bigoa in ancient Norse language. Within this next slides, my story leader, second block of human evolution, the great innovator of fire, and the first rational intelligence species, Homo neanderthal. He will support to establish my opinion here. If you see this chain, Neanderthal, he was the greatest spear thrower among his tribe, and he became very famous and professional of his arts. His hunting techniques and specialized hunting tools were evidence his greatness and the glory of winning the tribe. He started to make his own hunting tools and equipments by unique designs, shapes, characteristics, and he deserved it. Researchers have found that he had a school of developing and manufacturing those professional hunting tools within his tribe. And according to the documentaries which I followed, the archaeologists have found these unique model spears and Acheulean axes were spread over Europe to China through Africa. So can you imagine that the strength of beliefs on the innovations he found and the others grabbed through him? Before I talk what his brand is, let's find out what his brand isn't first. As you can see in these slides, I have mentioned few elements: logo, product, promise, name, advertising, term. Though some of them call them brands, I would like to develop a hypothesis. Brand is none of them. We use logos and names as a symbol. Basically, it's a design. I agree that logo is very important for a business to perceive customers. Nevertheless, brand is not a logo. Product and advertising cannot be called as a brand too, Though we say buy products, reality is we buying brands. From the client point of view, they need to differentiate their product from another product. Designing something on papers, products, boards, or in social media doesn't call branding. My question is, by the call of it, can you call product or a service as a brand? Some say brand is a promise, but promise will encourage customers to buy products. Promise does ending and acting as a brand promise, but that not it is. Equal to name, promise will follow only the identification of a brand. So again, none of them can call as a brand. As you can see, some big brands are here. How have they become such big, such strong? You can see McDonald's, Amazon, Virgin, and the personal brand models are here. Lionel Messi, Virat Kohli, Starbucks Coffee, Apple, Nike. Why are we really calling them brands? What attributes are behind them? If brand is no longer a name, a logo, a term, a promise, or advertising or anymore, what is branding really? When it comes to branding and brands, positioning under the brand process and techniques, there are so many techniques can be identified and so many ways to be implemented. Today, I'm going to share very few of them that you can understand about the brands and the positioning. But please note, mechanism will be not discussed here and only the knowledge and the experience will be shared today. How do you turn a product or a commodity into a brand? How do you position and sell them? Or else, how do you position a service or a product in such a noisy marketplace as a rich brand? For an example, Coca-Cola, Apple, Virgin, Adidas, Walmart, Nike. There are most common factors you need to concern when it comes to brand platform. Ceylon has over 500 years history of Ceylon tea, cinnamon and spices, which are still well known in many countries as a symbol. Why do you think they give more quotas to Sri Lanka? I mean, the buyers give more quotas to Sri Lanka. Whereas there are big manufacturers and producing globally. That because of there's a story behind the commodities. There's a belief behind the products. Kenya. Kenya supplies the biggest number of kilograms to a tea market world today. Sri Lanka, do they only a few percentage comparative to Kenya. But revenue-wise, Ceylon tea has the highest number. That because of our mark price is higher than the others. That's especially due to the brand. That's due to the brand positioning. People don't buy because of a logic. People buy because of emotions, and they justify the logic decision with the logic. when it comes to buying process, the consumer behavior and the psychological aspects starts to argue logically and rationally with your cognitive mind. Now I want you to think something that you want to buy in your life. It could be a vehicle you dream, it could be a house, it could be a latest iPhone, maybe it's a Clark pair of shoe, maybe a beautiful holiday in a star class hotel with your family or with your loved ones. I just want you to picture what you want to buy. And once you have that in your mind, I just want to ask this question from you. Why do you want to really buy them? And why do you want to own them? Okay, let's dig this little bit deeper. I suggest that you will buy emotions. Maybe you buy them because of the greediness, maybe because of the generosity, maybe buying this item is gonna help other people. You know, some companies buy or pay for charity a lot of money and they will enhance their brand values and the image of the company or the organization maybe. Sometimes we would buy because of shame, you know. Sometimes we buy, if we don't buy, this may look foolish. Even that feeling also sometimes we get, right? Likewise, there are a number of reasons that can come to mind. Whatever those reasons are, those are very often emotional reasons. So the first hypothesis is you buy because of emotions and you justify it with a logic. Now just think about when you ask to sell something to somebody. Are you just talking about features and the benefits to promote brands when you are heading a brand or when you are running a brand? What this thing would do for you? Or else are you pushing those emotional hot buttons to pursue a brand to someone? Let me tell you a story. This is one of my personal experience. When I was once in Singapore, I was at Adidas SG. As you all know, it's a high-end shoe store in Singapore. And then one manager came and asked, so is there anything that I can help you with? Then I said, no, thank you so much. I just browsing because I love branded shoes. Even at that time, I was wearing Adidas Track 8 shoe. And then the manager looked at me and asked me to take a seat for a while. Then after a few minutes, he came with a beautiful brand new pair of shoe and offered me to wear. And he gave me a fully emotional brief about the shoe. That is Adidas Stratford limited edition special shoe, which sponsor for Manchester United and the Juventus football teams. Singapore Adidas SG holds a license to sell this very limited shoe with a certificate of owning. Then I tried that and I said, wow, that's pretty good looking and I feel great. And you know, he ended the story with, so you are now a truly fan of a Cristiano. Believe me, finally I bought that shoe and it cost a lot of money for me. And if you think about the story, what I have been buying, I'm buying emotions. I'm buying feelings. When I wear this Stratford shoe, I feel as good as Cristiano and I feel like I'm truly fan of him. Logically, I know this, of course, it's not Cristiano, but emotionally, it takes me there. That much good that is. If I'm justifying this with a logic, you have to understand this. Don't push your products or services. Don't push your features and the benefits at first time. Think what are the emotional hot buttons and that you have to push. Next important thing is people don't buy their way into something. They buy their way out of something. It means people very often they don't buy something when they have a problem to be solved. For an example, people won't buy an excavator. They just want to dig a hole on the ground and get solve the problem. So they hire only the service. The other important thing is people don't buy product or service. They buy stories because when they have so many choices out in the marketplace or in the internet, there are hundred of choices and the alternatives. With this, how do you stand out? How do you add emotions to a commodity? Okay, let's clarify it this in way. What is the difference between ordinary ballpoint pen and Mont Blanc's John F. Kennedy limited edition exclusive pen? Someone can say both are same and it has the same functions and it writes the same like ballpoint and JFK special edition pen. But when you add a story to an item, it adds values 100 times of a commodity. When you add a story to a story of President Kennedy's to that brand, to the particular brand, to a logo, it is 10 times more valuable. It is 100 times more valuable, and it is 1,000 times more valuable. The personality you get with a JFK Mont Blanc is so unique. So that's the difference between an ordinary pen and a pen with a story. Now, in case, how can you inject a story into a commodity and what would you do with that? Let me to bring two different examples to make you understand this. First, I will take 2 minutes to give a brief about the JFK Mont Blanc pen. Then you will understand what I'm talking about and this story of injection or including stories to a commodity or service. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, he was born in May 29th, 1970, and referred by his JFK, initial JFK, and he was American politician who served as the 35th president of the United States from 1961 until his assassination in 1963. Kennedy serves at the height of Cold War, and Democrat Kennedy represents Massachusetts in both houses of US Congress prior to becoming the president. This most referred figure of modern history, the special edition John F. Kennedy pen, makes symbolic reference to the JF Kennedy's life in entire story. So according to this life story, check how does this design details align to the pen. You can see this blue precise resin refers to both Kennedy's time in the US Navy and the Ivy League. His initial JFK are engraved in the platinum coated clip here. Also, these 3 platinum coated cap rings stand for Kennedy's 3 brothers and a tribute to national hopes and dreams, Kennedy's pet project, Apollo space program. And also there are 585 gold nib engraved with the lunar module that landed on the moon in 1969. What do you think? And how do you feel about the connection between this JFK limited edition Mont Blanc pen, and if you can use this type of a pen, and if you can own it? Okay, before we discuss about this connection between these two, let's bring the other point to make you understand the difference. Someone can use ballpoint pen for same matter to sign, write, endorse a document. It's just a matter of 25 rupees value pen, and remember, there's no story behind the product. Will it feel you like JFK special edition? Will it make bond between the brand? Will it build an emotional connection? Now let me to tell you what would get with the JFK Mont Blanc pen. The source of beliefs include with environment, events, knowledge, past experiences, and along with the visualization. It comes from the inner of yourself. Beliefs are always tied up with full of emotion, and when you own a JFK Mont Blanc, your inner thoughts are starting to believe that your source of beliefs are same like John F. Kennedy. The lifestyle, the pattern, habit, the culture, reputation. When your confidence level goes up among the club, your level of reputation also will get high. According to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, when you hit the self-actualization level, will remind you the importance of owning this type of emotions or a commodities or a brands. You all can remember one of the famous athletes wanted to auction her Olympic medal due to some reasons recently. Finally, that has been abandoned after government involvement. By the way, what I want to tell you is, can you all remember how many bids were positioned? Why do they really try to buy that type of, valuable thing and keep that with them? because it has a story. The value of that is priceless. It's just not a medal made with silver. It has a blended emotions. It has a journey. It has a story. Like the same way, when you own a JFK special edition, you will get pride when you hold it. Because you get the JFK's emotions, JFK's pride. You are in his journey. You buy the blend of stories, not the pen. Brand loyalty can affect both ends, and we need to see how it affects on customers' point of view. When your loyalty towards a specific brand, you will notify with the benefits after sales. When you get a mix of all these factors, you will get the results. Then you feel the brand emotionally. This is why I hypothesize brand are emotionally built. Okay. Now only we are on the topic. Now it's time to answer what is brand is. It's a result of emotional and mix of all. It's a result of the many actions and decisions an organization makes on clients or the customers' emotions. It's a reputation, how the particular brand of the company is viewed and perceived by the customers, stakeholders, and the market as a whole. It is the culmination of ideas and emotions that customer associate with the brand, and it's something you set to believe, and it's your belief. When you know what does your business stands for, you're offering your customers more than just a product. You are giving them something to believe in. Your brand offers a vision for your team and hope for your customers to believe. It's not about selling something to them. It's about offering them an identity to their desire and something to believe on their own. Your brand belief must matter to your customers, something that defines who they want to be. And it's imply your gut feeling, which builds your confidence, and brand can be directly hit your personality. This is why I say psychologically, a brand will be a phenomenology. So far we talk about the customer point of view, and now I will switch this to perspective of organization point of view. As you can see here, there's no doubt branding is important to a business, yes. And that's because of its how company can get recognition and becoming well known to its customers. And at the same time, logo is most important elements of branding, especially where the factors is concerned, is a face of the company. This is why a logo design could be more powerful, professionally designed, and easily memorable. Logo will make an impression on persons at their first glance, and products are way of getting this impression across the market. Branding is important when trying to generate future business, and a strongly established brand can increase a company business value by giving more leverage in the industry. This can be made more appealing investment opportunities because firmly established brand can take higher place in the market. As a reason of it, a good brand will have no trouble drumming up for good business to get customers. Generally, strong branding means there's a positive impression of the customers or a company among consumers, and they are likely to do business with you because of the familiarity and the assumed brand that they can trust. When an employee works for a strong brand and strongly branded company, they will be more satisfied with their jobs and have higher degree of pride in the workplace and their work. When it comes to this advertising is only a component of branding, and advertising strategies will directly reflect the brand and its desired portrayals. Advertising techniques and the use of promotional products from trusted companies make it easy to create a cohesive and appealing advertising strategy that plays well into your branding goals. And also word of mouth will be the company's best and most effective advertising techniques once the brand has been well established. Furthermore, due to the brand loyalty, customers will highly associate the brands and due to that can set up a high price for the respective brands. But strictly remember, this should be done after correct brand analysis and evaluation process followed by a proper brand planner by a brand specialist. When the clients believe the brand, then that will help the gut feel and that develop the gut feel and emotional factors as well. In another way, another round, we call that confident level of buying a brand. For an organization, this is the level that everyone's seeking for. If any organization can hit this level, they can gain bunch of benefits such as ease of entrance in new markets, launching new products, as well as they may have very lower employee turnover. Mainly, all these factors will create market leaders. You can see here three different big brands actually. But I'm gonna talk about only two brands due to the time and the ethics issues. Apple and Coca-Cola. These two brands has brand value of 322,999 US dollars and value of 56,894 US dollars for Apple and Coca-Cola respectively. These statistics are recently taken from the internet, and there's a secondary, those are the secondary informations. So what is the reason behind them to have that much large number of brand value on them? As you all know, Apple, American multinational technology company, and one of the very big 5 companies in the US information technology industry, along with Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook. For the 2020 fiscal year, the annual revenue totaled 274.5 billion US dollars. And they became the first 2 trillion US dollars publicly traded value US company. So this sense, generally, Apple products has become most of the people's needs, and it's beyond the need of a mobile. Why I would call as that? If you need to make a call, you can just sacrifice your need with just a 2,500 rupee phone. Brands like Etel, Wincom, Bird, there are a number of low-end mobiles in the market where you can buy lesser than 3,000 rupees. But Apple, it costs more than 150 times of a normal mobile. As you all have heard of it, in California, there is a queue longer than 3 kilometers to buy a new model after the first launch and on their first day. Also, they do pre-ordering 3 months prior. Even I saw an advertisement in Sri Lanka from a reputed company by saying, now we have opened for pre-ordering for the Apple products. See how people are emotionally got bond with these brands. So let me explain this by taking this theory. In branding, we do deep analysis to identify the brand key. There's a concept of describing brand's identity through its characteristics. The prism diagram is a very useful visualization for identifying brand scope characteristics and how they related from one to another products. To elaborate this, I'm going to show you the application of brand prism to the brand Apple. So let's have a quick look on this. In the category of sender send, physics means how does that the effects of itself and characteristics of Apple. Simplicity and the innovativeness is unique to Apple brand personality and it's generally externalized. And when it comes to relationship, Apple has projected human touch and sold their brands for the love of technology. So it's like having a very good friend with you always. If you take Siri, he knows everything about you, isn't it? Some features like Find Friends, FaceTime, and some unique and exclusive features are truly made only exclusive to the Apple iPhone users. That's how Apple brand create and more value in the mindset of the consumers or the customers to align the reflection. For an example, in 1984, they began a branding campaign that portrayed Apple as a symbol of free thinking and creative. They ultimately focus high quality products that makes customers emotional feeling on free thinking, especially to enhance the feel of self-image. Can you just ask from the customers, what do you want? Even though you can't give a try to give what they want at the right time. They will always want something new, something innovative. Steve Jobs perceived that the customers want and they work behind backward through the technology to deliver that. That's the secret behind Steve Jobs and the Apple head. This is the culture of Apple brand follows. Apple brand has a personality like it's about lifestyle, imagination, innovation, passion, hopes, and the aspirations. The Apple brand personality is also about simplicity and the removal of complexity from the people life. It's people-driven brand design. That's how the brand differentiate with other brands. Another main reason to have high value on Apple is architectural brand, emotional brand. It's not just intimate with its customers. It is a portrayal with love and emotions. It has created power to the people through the technology. It's always about people. It has established a heartfelt connection with its customers. This is how the core characteristics and identities are positioned on customers' mind to knock or push emotion buttons on them. Brand can make power in two ways, psychologically and physiologically. Emotion factors are always conceiving the buying decisions and brand retaining. Then as a result, you will get return on the benefits factors across fulfilling the psychological needs. If we ask people to think about successful brands, we often ask them to think Coca-Cola, isn't it? That's why I decided to take Coca-Cola as my last brand brief here. If you take the strongest beverage brand, the Coca-Cola company is the world's largest beverage company, largest manufacturer, distributor, and marketer of non-alcoholic beverage concentrate and syrup in the world, and one of the largest corporations in the United States as well. Coca-Cola currently offers nearly 400 brands in over 200 countries and serve 1.5 billion servings each day. The essence of branding of the company lies in fact of consumers' accessibility to be within an arm's reach of desire. This is the strategy has been focused on increasing frequency of consumers of purchasing. That's how the brand development strategy of Coca-Cola has been able to construct and manage as well as maintaining its brand image. Another reason why this brand has gained anonymous acceptance all around the globe is due to the fact that has been able to connect very well with the customers. There's a huge reason behind the Coca-Cola brand to sell over 25 bottles to 1.8 billion bottles per day. That is considered with the logo, product, packaging, advertising. And especially that brand has been aligned with the mission and the vision with Coca-Cola brand and the people. This implies brand loyalty. Brand loyalty has been instrumental key in kicking up the brand image of Coca-Cola. As you can see, Coca-Cola has the highest brand value from the beginning. Though they had the highest brand work in 2015, they went lower turnover. But still, the highest brand value in the market and the higher than the competitor is Coca-Cola. So no doubt to be the number one in the next decades as I guess. Finally, a brand is a result of a recognition and the personal attachment and that will form in the hearts and the minds of the customers through their accumulated experience with the brand, with the respective brand. This experience contribute to increase consumers' trust and the loyalty and also allow to building a strong relationship with the brand. By this way, brands promotes to increase of shareholder value and establish a long-term advantage in the marketplace for organizations. And also strong brands will be able to associate brand loyal base and that will directly companies will accelerate revenue and improve the returns of for shareholders. That's why each time powerful organizations are focused on their strategies on building powerful brands as they represented and gain competitive advantage to bring value for the company. Finally, I believe you have been able to get minor knowledge about brands and branding, and the same way I know I cannot pursue it within 1 hour of knowledge, but B-TIC will keep conducting this type of sessions, and they are always welcome for the new ideas, and they help to grow. So thank you very much for participating and joining for this participation today, and spending your valuable time, especially on Saturday. Hope you have upgraded your knowledge at good value on brands. So thank you very much, and that's the end of the sessions today. So see you again. I will keep posting if anything to be delivered. So wishing you a pleasant evening, and thank you very much. If anything that you can ask from me right now.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chathura, for your wonderful talk. I hope this talk helped many out there to understand about the concept of branding. And here's the opportunity for anyone who is interested in delivering a talk just like Mr. Chathura. All you have to do is, as I always say, is to register at www.btic.uk, and you can find out more about it in our website.